Hey guys, it's Kimberly back with the Twin Flame family, here to help guide you along your twin flame journey. And I'm a reader and soul coach, and I am here to give you your weekly forecast for the collective twin flames. This week I pulled the cards a little bit differently. I pulled from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck for the Divine Feminine, the Divine Masculine, as well as the shared combined energies. And then I've used some of the oracle cards as the crowning and sort of under the surface situation. Sorry, I'm getting phone texts. Busy holiday season. I hope everybody had a nice holiday. And this is our last week of our 9-year, which is 2016. Adds up to 9. We're moving into a 10-year, which is like the completion of a cycle and the start of a lot of new things, like your mission. And I think this is a great week to just kind of take inventory of, what's transpired over the past year. Also, really feel proud of yourself for the growth work that you've done. There's a lot of frustration. Everyone's like, I'm so frustrated. This isn't happening. That's not happening on my timeline. But the truth is that we just have to feel grateful for being in the now. That was like a message that was coming through for me to communicate to you guys about, be in the now, be present. Don't look to the future and look at, what's not here now might not be there then. That's not how we manifest. We need to think about true manifestation is visualization. It's like feeling grateful for everything around us, being in the now, not looking at the past, thinking about what went wrong. And when I say take inventory, I'm talking about what's worked for you, what hasn't. What are you grateful for? Write a list of all the things that you're grateful for, like even in your own evolution. A lot of you have done a lot of growth work, a lot of spiritual work, and there's been a ton of evolution this year, especially with the twin flames. So feel grateful for that. Feel proud of yourself. It's okay to do that. Give yourself a little pat on the back. And they're just saying through the holidays, through the rest of the holiday season, through New Year's, like be in the now. Okay, don't work. Like, yes, it's good to have a lot of excitement for the new year. Put your missions into motion and put everything out there. But they're saying like, stop worrying. Okay, so it's like releasing the fears. And being in the now means truly not looking out to the future and truly not feeling bitter or resentful about the past. And for that to happen, that being in the now, like the power of now, Eckhart Tolle, this is like complete surrender, and this is a concept that twin flames are learning and mastering, is how to surrender, how to not worry about what's next or what's happened or, and releasing all of that. So sorry about the camera because the cards are going to be backwards on your screen. But I wanted to talk about this. So the Divine Feminine is pulling up as the Empress this week. So she's showing up as the Empress. She's really owning her power, and I really feel that from most of the Divine Feminine twin flames that I've been connecting with. And she's really getting into her feminine. Okay. And I've been talking about this because I have a workshop coming up on January 11th. It's the Divine Feminine Goddess Workshop. I'm offering half off of it through the end of the year. We've already had a couple people sign up for it. 2-hour tele video conference, January 11th, 1/11. And this is again saying you're already connecting into your Divine Feminine. You're like waking up. And you're realizing, wow, this feels good to own this piece of my femininity. And I want to do this more. And you're starting to figure out how to do it. So I want to help you do that. So that workshop's designed to give you the tools to do that so that we can move through like strong, secure, steadfast on our mission and our twin flame dynamic and in pure feminine energy, right? And any masculine energy that we have within us will be harnessed correctly and imbalanced and healthily. So, and it's the same with the feminine energy. It's all about getting it in balance and making sure we harness the power of this, because this is powerful. Our Empress is reminding us that we are powerful manifestors. We are powerful when we're in our power center. Okay, so we have to align with our self. This is about self-love, self-care, being authentically feminine where we authentically are, which a lot of us haven't recognized that yet fully. So if you'd like to take part in that workshop, it's thetwinflamefamily.com. Just click on schedule a session and group services. But in terms of this week, with that energy, they're saying, yeah, you like ride that out, slip into that power center and keep on going, keep on exploring this, keep on trying on. I always say when we try on the feminine traits to figure out what is authentically us and what isn't, it's like trying on clothes. Does it feel good? Do I like it? Do I want to keep this? Do I want to return it? Okay, because we don't have to own all the feminine traits. This is about finding what's authentically us and then claiming it. And how do we claim it and get rid of all the false masculinity? Okay, and it creates a power. And it creates a power in the sense of not force, like that false masculinity. It's just because it's so authentic and because the qualities, you'll step into your fullness of the feminine. This is utterly powerful. Okay. Now I'm pulling this. This is the 5 of Cups card. Okay. And it's in reverse. And, it's like the masculine is still afraid, okay, to really look at what I'll turn it right side up, these full cups right here, right? You see his back's turned to the opportunity and is looking at the past, right? It's really reminding the masculine to stay in the now, okay? Stay in the present. Know that new things lie ahead. 2017 is going to bring a shift, and this is about shedding, for the masculine, the fears. Because if the masculine is still facing away from the feminine, which I think you can see here, actually it's reversed. Sorry, it's like this when I look at it on the table. He's facing away from her, and it's like truly, it's still just the fears that's holding him back. So if you're still in separation, just know he's working through those fears, okay? It's coming up as this phobia, these phobias. This is a past life card that Doreen Virtue and Brian Weiss, and I use these always like as like the underlying message under the reading. And they're not just past life. They come to mean also early life and things that we've carried through from early life and past lives through this lifetime, through this current phase that we're in right now. And this is saying like these phobias have been there for a while. These fears have been there for a while, especially with the masculine. And I think while a lot of the feminine have done a really good job purging and shedding layers, the masculine is still a little bit lagging and really facing themselves and the future in letting go of all that fear, the fear of commitment, the fear of commitment's a big one. Fear of abandonment is huge. And the fear of abandonment sort of creates the fear of commitment for most or a lot of twin flames. And he's going to turn around in 2017 and start looking for a new life and start creating a new life, okay? And it's going to be like working through the fears and just like releasing and going for it. But right now, there's still a little bit of that fear and hanging on to the past and kind of like, woe is me, or the chips are down, or I'm not ready for that. But they're going to come around, okay? And I'm seeing like spring. Okay, for those of you that are still in separation. And then the shared energy is, this is the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, okay? And this is always talking about, that feeling of like being left out in the cold. We don't want to be left out in the cold. We don't want to be missing an opportunity. But it's also talking about like something that is about to shift so that your relationship becomes more secure. Okay, so there isn't that fear of being left out in the cold. That there isn't, this is about like shedding fears and shifting into a more secure phase of your relationship. Okay, it's like a shift that's coming. And in order to do that though, there needs to be both, as this is an injured party, if you look at the card upright, Okay, there's crutches, they're destitute, and they're sort of passing the opportunity by because there's probably warmth inside in this building here, and they're not leaning on one another. And twin flames need to remember that in order to shift the energy, your growth sparks your twin's growth. So as the more you awaken, the more you do your work, the more you face yourself and love yourself, your twin flame will start to come around as well, okay? And this is also reminding us to step into greater self-love, okay, for this shift to be possible. And it's like things that have been maybe holding the relationship back are going to shift. You're going to come into a safer place, a more steady commitment, or more of a working together. Or even if you're not working together literally on the 3D plane, it's like the 5D, that ascension as you love yourself and as you're able to tap into spirit and higher self. This relationship is really going to start to heal and shift. And it's going to create freedom for both parties. And this is what's above the reading, the crowning card, which is the Doreen Virtue Ascended Masters card. And it's the goddess Hina, Hawaiian goddess Hina. And it's freedom, okay? So freedom, this is talking about freedom to freeing ourselves from the chains that are holding us back. Okay, freeing ourselves from the past, freeing ourselves from the expectations of the future so that we can move into true surrender. And in that, we're going to feel like we have the ability to create a whole new life. Okay, and we're going to release the expectation around our twins and just really move forth on our missions. And in doing that, everything's going to gel. Okay, and 2017 is going to be a big year, but it has to be about, being in the now is very freeing, okay, because you are releasing the worries, you're releasing the past hurts, you're releasing the worries and fears about the future, and you're just being present. And that is the most freeing, that's the most freeing thing that this gift that we can give ourselves. Okay, that's true freedom. That's like the best feeling in the world. We're not worrying about outcome. We're not worrying about fears or getting hurt or trying to protect ourselves. And we're able to be fully who we authentically are in that freedom as well. Sometimes when we put up our defenses, like the false, for the feminine, like the false masculinity, it creates like a false persona, and we're not completely authentic. And we can look at it and go, well, but I'm just doing that because I'm trying to protect myself, or I'm trying to, not get hurt again. But the truth is that you're also not putting your authentic self forward. And they're saying in order to do that, we must free ourselves from the expectation, from the past hurts and all of that. And in the now, stop trying to protect yourself, okay? It's like they're definitely saying this is more about, I love this. I've just looked at the bottom of the deck of these past life Doreen Virtue and Brian Weiss cards. And it's the ship. And how much more freedom is it? It's like the wind in your sails, they're saying. Like, that's the freedom that you want. Okay, that freedom, like that open ocean, and it's like the sky's the limit, and there's no land here. There's nothing in the way of this ship, of this utter freedom. Okay, this is what they're talking about. These days of feeling like I might get left out in the cold, they're over. They're coming to an end. Everything's shifting now. And you're doing the work is part of this being a success, okay? It's being this reading coming to fruition, okay? So you still have to do your part in this, the working on the surrender, the letting go, and like just letting go. And it's the hardest thing to do sometimes, like the free fall, right? Like a bungee jump free fall. I don't know if I'm going to be okay. What if I hit my head? I've never done this. I'm scared of heights. This is so scary. But then you take the plunge and you trust. And then you're like, oh my God, this was so awesome. I can't believe I did this. And it was so exhilarating and freeing. And wow, I never thought in my life I would have done this. And it truly is, when you find the surrender, it truly is the most freeing feeling in the world. But I think that the being in the now is a huge message this week. It's what the angels are saying. It's what the guides are saying. So focus on that. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me through the website. And I'm doing readings all through this week. I have a special on the website. It's $45 for 45 minutes. It's a twin flame reading and guidance healing session. I use soul coaching techniques. We do shadow work. We talk about shadow work and balancing the polarities, as well as an individual reading that's customized for you. And also, I'm still receiving Twin Flame stories. I'll be taking them up, your submissions up until January 11th. And feel free to, in 2 pages or less in a Word document, just email me your Twin Flame stories. And if I'm interested in just reading through them right now. I've heard so many amazing stories. But if there's any feeling of like wanting to take this further, like to blog about it or talk about it on a video or even compile it into like a book form or anything like that, I will circle back to you, and I will obviously have you sign a release, and we'll talk about how that would all work and everything. So, but for now, if you do want to share your story, just to share it, please feel free to send it to me. I'm so interested in reading these. I've already received like more than a handful of really beautiful stories, and 2 pages, Word document, and you can email it to transformationscapecod@gmail.com. Other than that, check out the website, twinflamefamily.com, and I'll see you guys next week. Happy New Year. Okay, bye.